Hi guys, my name is Emma and I'm here with Emily on the LunaSats, and we're going to be doing Module 9, Activity 3, Signal Strength. So just to sum up this activity, you guys will be investigating the relationship between distance and the signal strength between the LunaSats. So the materials and code that you're going to need are 2 LunaSats, 2 FTDI chips, and sets of jumper cables, which we already have plugged into each other, and a computer, as well as your 9.3 worksheet signal strength so that you can follow along. So the first code that we'll need is our RF transmit text. So we're going to go to File, Examples, GLE 2023, Module Sketches, Module 9 RF, and then Transmit Text. And that will open up that. All right, so first we're just going to talk about what a return signal strength indicator value is. So a return signal strength indicator, or RSSI, is a measurement of signal strength. And so this metric will be displayed when the LunaSat receives a transmission, and a small RSSI value will correlate to a good signal strength. So for an example, an RSSI of negative 200 indicates a weaker signal strength than a transmission with an RSSI of a value of negative 100. Again, we're talking about the magnitude of that signal strength. So let's start with step 1. We're going to plug in our transmit LunaSat USB to our computer and select its port. So we're going to go to Tools. We'll make sure our board, processor, and then our port, I'm going to select COM4 since that is our transmitting LunaSat. And then I'm going to upload this transmit text to the LunaSat. And it's just going to compile and upload. This could take a minute depending on what computer you're on. All right, and once it's done uploading, then we're going to launch our serial monitor just to confirm that it is transmitting. And here we can see that it is a success, so our LunaSat is successfully transmitting. Next, we are going to leave that LunaSat plugged in and transmitting, and we're going to plug in our receiving LunaSat. And our receive code is the same as the other activities, so you shouldn't have to re-upload it. It should already be on there. And now I'm going to close this serial monitor, and I'm just going to open our or go to Tools and change our port to COM5 since that's our receiving LunaSat. So we're now on COM5, and then we're going to launch our serial monitor. And now you can see that we have launched the serial monitor for COM5 port, or our receiving LunaSat. And you guys should confirm that you are seeing something very similar to this, where it's our message, which is hello from our team. We said team 11. And then it has our return signal strength indicator, or RSSI value. So we're getting something in the negative 114, negative 113 range, which is a pretty good signal strength. All right, now for step 3, we're going to start with the LunaSats approximately 1 inch apart sitting on the table, and we're going to note the RSSI value. So you can see that our signal just got a little bit better. We're now at 110. So now we're going to move the transmitting LunaSat about 6 inches away from our receiving LunaSat. And now you can see that after we move those LunaSats, we are now at negative 118, which indicates a weaker signal strength than we were at before. And now we're going to move our LunaSats about a foot away from each other and see what RSSI value we're getting. And you can see that we had kind of a drastic jump, and we're now at negative 125. And we started at about negative 110 when they were only an inch apart. So you can also change the orientation of your Lunasats and see if you put them in different places, what that looks like. And you can just kind of play around with how far away you can get the Lunasats from each other. Again, you can even take them as far apart as possible. Like if I take our transmitting Lunasat and take it even farther away out of camera view, you'll see that our RSSI value gets drastically bigger as it gets farther away. And just a note about the failed receive or receive failed. That's totally fine. It's just in between successful transmissions. So don't worry if you see anything about a receive failed. And that's all for our activity 3, and we'll go on to next steps before getting into module 10. Thank you.